Hey guys, it's Marcus Maloney, the Equity King, coming to you again from the great sunny Southwest. Glad to be back here in Phoenix. I've been in Chicago for the past month, working on some of our rentals and acquiring some new property. So I had one great success, one great failure. Great failure was one of our rental properties had a small fire. But it was to the exterior garage, detached garage. So we kind of rolled that over into getting that fixed and acquiring more property. So it actually worked out for us. And lo and behold, our current tenant wanted to express interest in purchasing the property. So we did it on seller finance. Woohoo, which was my first seller finance deal. It's going to give us great passive income, along with a nice sizable down payment, and we're still able to roll that money into more properties. So while I was away, still had the mail going out, still doing deals. I have two that should be closing the end of this month. Well, not should be, will be closing the end of this month. Have some properties under contract in Chicago. So June, early July was a pretty good month. And while I was gone, I still received quite a bit of questions from the viewers and listeners. And one of the things was, ARV, how to correctly calculate the after repair value. And I know I did a video on this before, but one thing I didn't go in depth in was with comping the property. So today I want to go over just this one simple word, comping properties, which is short for comparables. So how do you find comps? So basically we use the appraisal approach, the sales approach. Appraisers use this when they come up with the value of the property. So basic definition of comping a property is the most commonly used appraisal technique in the sales comparison approach. The fundamental concept underlying in this approach is the market data analysis provided by the best indicators of the market value for a house. So basically, you're looking at what sold within the last normally 120 days in the same general vicinity, same general square footage, and the same general type of house. So appraisers again use same or similar and proximate neighborhood, most recent closed sales. That is very, very important. Let's air quotes, closed sales. Normally within the last 120 days, plus or minus 10% of the square footage. So what do we mean by that? Closed properties. I know a lot of people make mistakes and they say, hey, well, this property is on the market, for 150 and all the other properties sold for 90, or not sold, but I'm sorry, let me go back. This property is on the market for 150, but the other property sold for 90. So when you're doing your comps, you're going to look at those properties that sold for 90, not the property that's on the market for 150, because we are looking at these sold properties, okay? So again, we're looking for properties in the same or general vicinity, normally within a half a mile radius, similar communities, and 10% give or take square footage. So let's kind of go through an example here. I have, guys, bear with me, I have my main street. So we have Main Street and First Street. So let's look at these communities here. We have Trinity Springs. I'm sorry if you can't see this very clear, but I'll kind of go over it. We have Trinity Springs here, where the values are $100,000 to $200,000. Single level homes and two-story homes are generally in this community here. Then you have this other community, Cross First Street, which is Centertown Circle, which is a historical district. Most of the houses were built in the 1940s. They're on the smaller side, 800 square feet to 1,300 square feet, and they're selling for about $275,000 to $400,000. Then let's look at Lookout Estates, which is a gated community, selling for $300,000 to $650,000. Normally they have a basement and a pool. And then finally we have Camden Acres, all single stories with basements, selling for about $150,000 to $350,000. So using this example, let's say you have a deal, you have a possible deal here in Trinity Springs, which is a single level, let's say 1,700 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Okay, so we know in Trinity Springs that the prices are selling for between $100,000 and $200,000. Can you guys see that? So now you have a property under contract, or you're looking to get a property under contract in Trinity Springs here. Now you want to come up with a comp. You cannot use Centertown Circle, which is actually right across the street. Yes, it is in the same general vicinity within that half a mile, but you have a historical district you're trying to comp out with Trinity Springs, which is an entry-level home community. So you can't use this as a comp. I see this happen a lot of times with newbie wholesalers. They say, hey, I got a property under contract for 1,700 square feet in Trinity Springs. Right across the street is Centertown Circle, and their houses are selling for 1,300 square feet for $400,000. So maybe I can comp this Trinity Springs property over here at $450,000 because it's 400 more square feet, and the highest sold in this area was 400. You cannot do that. And the reason why is because although it's in the same general vicinity, again, this is a historical district. Homes normally in a historical district carry a higher value. So you wouldn't be able to use this here. So, and you say, okay, well, we can't use this here, but we still have Camden Acres, which is right across just south of Main Street. Similar homes, all single stories, but again, these homes have basements. Normally, homes with basements have added square footage. I know in the Midwest, they don't add that square footage into the square footage of the house unless it's finished because it's considered below grade. But yet, a house with a basement still carries a premium. So normally, house with a basement minus a house without a basement, you can see the difference in value here. You see 100 to 150 here and 150 to 350 here. So you really won't be able to use Camden Acres. Only way you'll be able to use Camden Acres as a comp is if your property that you're using the comparable for, excuse me, don't have a basement. So now you may be able to increase this value a little bit, but again, most of your comparables sold here between 100 and 200K. So this is something that you have to look at when you're doing your comps. Again, especially in certain cities, especially like Phoenix, you can have a property right across the street, but all of the other neighboring neighborhoods are either being gentrified or they're historical districts or, they're scraping the lots and putting new builds on the property. So you can't really use those as comps. So again, let's look at this. We definitely know we can't use Lookout Estates because it's a gated community. They have the basements and pools, and they're comping for $300 to $650. So to wrap it all up, just to make it real easy for you, You want to look for homes, again, in similar neighborhood, similar features, pools, basements. If it's a single story or two-story or split level. And the Midwest, they call them triplexes. I mean, not triplexes, but tri-levels and bi-levels. So tri-level and bi-level. Okay? So these are some of the things that you have to be aware of when you're comping properties. Just because it fits within this general vicinity of a half mile, you have to find like-kind properties. Okay? I made a major mistake actually when I was getting started, and I comped the property too high because I was being aggressive, and my mentor told me, hey, you know what? This is not a deal that you had. You know, kind of hurt. I thought it was going to be my first deal getting done. But after he explained it to me, he showed me that although the houses are in the same area, once you cross, let's just say First Street, you have a different dynamic of people. So let's make sure we keep in mind with these different parameters that you're looking at the same features, you know, pool, basement, single level, 2 stories, or split levels. And then also you need to be aware of the number of bedrooms. A 2-bedroom does not value the same as a 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom. Most single families are looking for 3+ bedrooms, especially when you're wholesaling. Your sweet spot is going to be 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. The reason being is because these properties fly off the shelf. You know, every family is looking for at least 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Okay? So there are plenty of tools out there to help you comp properties the right way. For example, you have Redfin. I know Zillow has been taking a lot of flack, but there's Zillow.com. Some of the banks, like Bank of America, has a comping feature on their website. One that I've never used and just recently became familiar with is Surefield.com. They have a comping feature on their site. But I believe, and I know to be true, the most valuable tool to use to comp properties is your local MLS, the multiple listing service. This way you can see exactly what properties are selling in your area, what properties are selling, for example, in Trinity Springs, how much they're selling for per square foot, how much rehab is being put into them. You definitely have to know your market. The reason why knowing the comps are important is because your end buyer will have to have an appraisal done once they finish their flip. If that property does not appraise out, they lose quite a bit of money. So if they're shooting for that property to comp out at, let's just say 210, and the appraiser says the property is only worth 160, you know, that's a difference of $50,000 that the flipper, you know, have to negate from his profit. No matter how nice the property is, the property can be over updated for the area. But if that area only warrants a $200,000 price tag for it, no matter how much you do to it, that's what that property is going to be worth. Okay, so this is Marcus Maloney, the Equity King, again, coming to you. Just wanted to go over comping properties real quick. If you have any questions or comments, you know, please make them below. Please subscribe to the channel if you find this to be some valuable information. Sorry, I'm not sure if you guys can read all of this, but I just wanted to, touch bases with you guys and help you guys get started and looking at things in the right direction. So remember, the best tool to find your comps is your local MLS. A lot of times you don't have to be a realtor to have access to the MLS. You can pay just a monthly subscription fee. If you don't want to do that, you can definitely use Redfin, I would suggest, as the backup. And then you also use these same tools when you're talking to your sellers. When they say, hey, you know what? I believe my property is worth $250,000 in Trinity Springs. Why, Mr. Seller? Well, because I've done this. I've added new granite countertops. I've added new flooring. All of the bathrooms been updated and everything like that. And then you can always say, however, I do understand that, Mr. Seller, but because you are in Trinity Springs, prices in Trinity Springs are only going up to $200,000. Feel free to get an appraisal done. Although you may not get the deal, the most important thing is to educate your seller. We're here to provide a value to our sellers. So if you can't get that deal, you need to service them and providing them some education. All right. Again, subscribe below. Ask me any questions, or if you have any questions or comments, you can reach me at equityrealestateblog.com, biggerpockets.com as well. So this is Marcus Maloney, the Equity King, signing off.